What's up, guys? Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Lili, and if you've been here before, you know that we talk about real estate investing, personal finance, all that good stuff, financial freedom. But I wanted to make a quick video for you guys today. I'm actually sitting outside of a property I have a contract on. I'll put up some pictures and videos for you guys right here, and I'm waiting for a structural inspection to be done. But I wanted to take a moment, make a quick video for you guys and answer some questions that I've been getting a lot. So yeah, today I'm going to talk about how to network with investors, and most of all, how not to network with other investors and people in the industry. And then I'm also going to tell you guys why I decided to get a structural inspection on this house and not other properties that I get under contract. If you have other questions, or you want to know more about how to start a wholesaling or investing business, definitely follow me on Instagram. I go live every Wednesday at 7 Central to answer questions for you guys. But I thought a video would be good for these two questions, just because I get them a lot and I want to talk a little bit more about them. So before we get started, you know what to do. Turn that like button blue and subscribe for future content. So how not to network with investors. You got to really understand what's the difference between networking and mentorship, right? And when we think about networking, it's an exchange, right? Where I have something to offer and you have something to offer in return. We can work together, to kind of help each other out. And it doesn't have to be that we're at the same experience level, or that we have the same amount of money, or that we know the same things, but just that we can exchange something. And when you're looking for networking, you're not coming in asking and asking and asking, you're coming in and offering. And I'll give you guys some examples of how I've networked with cash buyers and contractors and things like that. Mentorship, on the other hand, is when one person is teaching and guiding another. And sometimes mentorship is free if you're lucky, and sometimes it's not. So first step is knowing, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a mentor? Or are you looking for someone to network with? And there's nothing wrong with either. I think you should actually do both. I've done both. And on the mentorship side, the first thing you should do is looking to see if that person offers mentorship, especially if you're reaching out to someone, on Instagram or on YouTube or via email or on their website, right? Look and see if they offer mentorship. A lot of times people have a link in their bio and it'll tell you exactly what they offer there. If they don't, be careful about the words you use when you reach out to them to offer mentorship. There's a couple of things you want to keep in mind. You want to respect their time and go ahead and assume that they're busy making money, because if you want them to be your mentor, you better hope that they're actually doing what they're saying they're doing and that they're good at it and making money at it. And if that's the case, don't ask them to sacrifice the time they may have been spending, making money doing their business in order to teach you their business, right? So don't say just can I pick your brain? That's a red flag. Don't say can you teach me this, right? Just let them know, hey, I'm looking for a mentor. And make sure they understand that you're not looking for anything for free, that you're not looking for any handouts. And it doesn't have to be that you have to have a ton of money to spend on mentorship. It's a good thing to invest in mentorship if you're able to, but you can also offer something of value. For example, if you're trying to get into wholesaling and you're looking for a mentor, you can reach out to someone and say, hey, I'm looking for a mentor. Is there any bird dogging that I can do for you? Can I help you find deals? Do you need me to cold call for you? What can I do for you in exchange for mentorship, right? Don't ask just to pick their brain or to hop on a quick call or anything like that for free, because you want to assume that they're using their time to make money. And you need to offer them value in some way, shape, or form in exchange for their time and in exchange for that mentorship. Now, let's say that you're not looking for mentorship. Let's say that you're looking just to network, right? You're not necessarily looking for someone to teach you, but maybe they have something that you don't, or you have something that they don't, or you're just trying to make more industry connections. In this case, you have to approach that conversation again with an offer of value. I'll give you guys an example. I went on the local Facebook group and I found the email addresses of a bunch of investors, right? So somebody comments that they have a deal, people say they're interested, they comment their email address below. So I took those email addresses and I put them all on a list, and I sent out an email, which is a networking email, but the title is, how can I get you more deals, right? I'm asking these investors, these cash buyers, are you happy with the deals that you're getting? If you need more deals, how can I bring them to you? I ask them specific questions. What areas are you looking in? How are you running your numbers? How many deals do you want me to bring you a month, right? I'm giving value, and in that way, creating a relationship. And a lot of the investors that email me back, They're like, yeah, I need more deals, right? I need good deals that meet these criterias in these areas. And what's even more amazing is that most of them, after they told me their criteria, they responded, how can I help you? What do you need, right? And it's because it's an exchange of value. I bring them deals. They can give me, their experience. They can connect me with their contractors. Whatever it is that I need, I can now ask for that. But I didn't send that email out asking, hey, can I network with you, right? It wasn't just a broad ask for like some networking that maybe we don't even know what that means, right? It's an ask of how can I bring you value? And once that happens, then they respond and let me know how I can bring them value and ask if I need anything in return. Right, so that's the difference between networking and mentorship. What's up, guys? I'm actually back home doing some work, but I wanted to cut in because I just got an email from an investor that is just like a perfect example of what we're already talking about. And this is an investor, a cash buyer that I reached out to and asked, what's your deal flow like? Are you satisfied with the deals you're getting? How can I help you, by bringing you better deals? What are you looking for? And he responded and, told me what he was looking for and then said, is there anything that you need? And I just asked him for some insight on the market and what he's seeing. And he really just broke down his perspective for me. And he made two really important points that I want to share with you guys. And the first thing is that when your profit margin, let's just say is $30,000, right? When an investor can make $30,000 on a flip, it's a big difference between buying a house for $50 and then making $30,000 on it and buying a house for $150 or $200 and then making $30,000 on it. And so he was just explaining that as the price of the property gets larger, then the spread or like the amount of money that you can make on the deal gets large. It needs to get larger as well if you really want to have buyers interested in your high price properties. So that's one thing. And then the other thing he reminded me to keep in mind is that the 1% rule for rents, right? We talked about this before, where your property should be able to rent for 1% of the purchase price. So if it's $100,000 property, it should rent for $1,000 a month. And if you've got a deal for a property that, let's just say, is $250,000, right? It should be renting for $2,500 a month. Anyone that can afford $2,500 a month in Oklahoma, I don't know about where you live, but anybody who can afford that much in rent every month can probably just buy their own house, right? And so you kind of cut back on the pool of renters that you could get as you go to higher prices as well. And so one, I thought those were really useful, just like real estate insights. But then two, I got those insights by offering something of value, right? By asking what this person needed and they responded, and then we started to network and to connect. So just make sure that when you're reaching out to people, you're not just saying, hey, what do you think of the real estate market? What can you tell me? What advice can you tell me? And like, it can be a question. It can be, what do you need or how can I help you? But you're not just like, hey, what can you tell me about real estate or what do you think of the market? You got to start building that relationship slowly and then people will be willing to help you out. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys that example. Back to the video. Now, let's talk about the questions that you ask people when you're networking. Don't ask Googleable questions. Don't ask, how much earnest money should I put down? Don't ask, where can I get a contract? Don't ask how much of an assignment fee should I make, right? Don't ask things that are Googleable. Ask things that show you're willing to go out and find answers for yourself, right? You're willing to be an entrepreneur. You're willing to be an investor and figure things out and ask specific questions that you wouldn't be able to find elsewhere. Like, for example, what type of deals do you specifically want? Ask questions that are specific to them that help them. Other questions that you can ask once you make a relationship and once you're offering some value, right? In that email, I could have asked, hey, what deals are you looking for? And I could have followed up with, also, I'd love to know your opinion, on the local market. It's so hot right now. What do you think are the best investment strategies, right? But I'm offering value. There's a beetle on me. But I'm offering value and I'm making sure that I'm not just trying to take someone's time for free because I'm assuming that they're making money with their time. Now, let's talk about this house behind me. You guys actually saw this house on this episode right here, and I ended up getting it under contract, right? Now, it was originally listed for $300,000. It got knocked down a couple of times and ended up being listed at $269,000, and I went back and I re-offered, and I have this contract for a lot lower than what the listing price is. I won't exactly say yet because I'm still in the middle of, trying to get buyers and everything. I'll give you guys a complete update once I assign this property and we're all done with it. But I have this property for a lot lower than listing price. And I don't always get a structural inspection or any type of inspection really on most of the homes that I wholesale. But this one in particular is different because it's a big, expensive house. Most of the houses that I wholesale, the asking price is somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000. The asking price for this one might be over $200,000 with an ARV of over $350,000. So it's a big, expensive house. It's 3,800 square feet. So the first thing I think about is, what's the price point, right? It's much more risk to buy a $200-something thousand house than it is to buy a $50,000 house. And so my investors are gonna wanna have more information and more confidence about the condition of the house before they make the investment or the decision to buy it. So that's why I do some type of inspection for these expensive houses, so that I have more information to give my cash buyers. Second reason I get an inspection, and specifically with this house, is because there's indications of structural damage. There's cracks in the walls, there's cracks in the tiles, and unfortunately, the sellers of this house, they're selling it for, you know, a relative that passed away, and they didn't live here for like the past 2 decades, so they don't really know if the structural damage is new or if it's old and, you know, it's just kind of cosmetic remnants from some old repairs that were done on the property. And so because that's such a big question, because structural damage is so serious to deal with, right? It's not just ripping out carpets or getting new paint. Structural damage is something that takes a lot of money and, you know, professionals to deal with. Because of that, again, I want my buyers to feel confident that they can know exactly what's going on with this property and what it'll take to fix it up and get it to that ARV that I'm telling them. If you guys have more questions, definitely follow me on Instagram at Lili Invest. And every week I put a post up just like this that you can leave your questions as a comment on. And then I'll meet you there Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central on IG Live. Answer any and all questions that you guys have. So definitely hit me up there. I think you should watch this video right here next. YouTube thinks you should watch this one. I post videos 3 times a week. And until next time, thank you guys so much for watching.